My God. Confetti, band, trumpets, drums.
Yep.
7 swans swimming.
Yep.
8 geese laying.
Fireworks.
Firework.
2 gloves
That's it.
punching each other and exploding.
Exactly. We've got some. I've got some 4-leaf clovers growing over there. I've got a rabbit's foot over here. I mean, this is incredible.
We have a killer show. We're here. We're going to start a new section now. We have decided to call it the 15th round shout outs. And I'm going to begin by talking about our fans, which can I tell you how much fun I'm having? There are other kinds of fans. There are other celebrities, but there are no fans like Rocky fans, and that's what I'm learning.
I agree.
So the Uber fans, I have 3 sections: Uber fans, some fan stories, and upcoming guest teasers. So let's get through.
Stacy, real quick, could we just clarify?
Yes.
These are Uber fans, Uber drivers who are fans, or Uber fans as in they are mega fans.
Mega fans. I'll find a new word.
They're the megalodon shark of fans.
Megalodon fans.
No,
okay.
no, Stacy,
new phrase. I love that.
I'm kidding. I love your face. I use the word Uber fans all the time.
Yeah.
I wanted to have some play on that.
Uber drivers could be Rocky Uber
Sure.
fans.
They should be.
I'm pretty sure there's many of them.
Sure, but listen, I don't want Stacy to beat me up, so please go right ahead.
Okay, so locally we have Laura Ann, Carol, Billy Cutshaw, Jason Haynes, Robert Kerr. He's our question today.
Okay.
Mike Ferreira, who is a riot. Tony C, who is always posting very cool facts and great photos. Great photos.
Yeah.
Overseas, I cannot get over the number of people overseas. Karina from Romania, Christina, Croatia, Danny from the UK, who we had on, Kate from the UK. Kate, are you listening? Because I'm after you because I want her on the show. She's so shy, but we're getting her.
I love her. Kate's amazing.
She's so cute. KAB 1818. Everybody go to her handle and encourage her to come on. Emmanuel from Italy and Darren from Australia. And I believe we're playing his video today, but I'm not 1,000% sure. But he sent us a beautiful video. Raminder Yadav. He is from India. Leaves us the most beautiful comments, so thought out, and he has a beautiful Rocky story. And so, Raminder, I want you to message me because you're on the list, my dear. And Vince Font, I'm still waiting for your Rocky story. I said, so what? Because he is like Raminder. He always leaves us really nice comments.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, what's your story? He's like, oh, I have one. I'm like, okay, send it my way. So I'm still waiting. Let's see. Eric Carpentier. I want everyone to message this gentleman. He is one of our Marines. He is stationed over in Japan. Yeah. He is at E. Charpentier 1983.
We put him in episode 2. He was
He was the
little message. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is over in Japan.
He was great.
He sent in the most epic Rocky 5 defense. He's tired of Rocky 5 not getting the love. He loves Rocky 5. So when we do a deep dive into Rocky 5, I'm not going to play it now, but I do want to play his message because he really elevates Rocky 5. So everybody, go to E. Charpentier 1983 and send him a thank you. And then our original Uber fan, Megalodon fan, is also a Navy vet. His name is Justin, and I'm sure you folks have seen him. He's basically helping me. He's like our marketing department. He helps me with so many posts, so many videos. And he has started his own Rocky page over at Balboa _yo_. He is fantastic.
Is that's him?
That's him.
I just started following him. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
he's dynamite.
Our ambassador.
He is our ambassador, and he's just so excited to be helping. He's helping me a lot because he helps with facts and very cool posts. But I do want to say, I want his sons to be listening. I've gotten to know him a little bit. He's very sweet. Christopher and Brad, I want you to know everything Dad does is for you too. The sun rises and sets on their heads, and my God, he's such a good dad, and they need to know how much he just adores them.
Yeah, nice guy.
Great guy, very sweet. So that is our Megalodon fans.
Megalodon fans.
Then I have 3 fan stories. Is okay? I keep going. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
oh,
I love
I
these.
love this.
This is like my life now. I'm so happy. Even my mother's like, "You're so happy." I'm like, "Yes, I am." William James. I think he spells mum M-U-M, so I'm assuming he's in England. But he's so sweet. I said, "Hey, send us a video," but he's shy, and which is adorable. So I'm happy to do this. He says, in Creed, Rocky had the same cancer as my mom. Oh. And my mom died, but Rocky made me realize, very sad. Rocky made me realize if I stop fighting through life, I'll lose. Rocky taught me to never be a fighter, but also taught me to never stop fighting. That's why I'm here now, stronger than ever. I am Rocky Strong. I was like,
oh, that's great.
So adorable.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
and he's a young man.
Nice.
He's a really young man. So
Yeah,
he's at Mr. William James, all one word on his script.
Yeah.
Then Brian Siffard, Brian, I'm so sorry. Syphard. Rocky 4 got me to work out, and it got me to believe. I was picked on and ignored as a kid in 8th grade. Watching Rocky, I felt just like him. No one would give him a chance. I just wanted a chance. And like Rocky, from that point forward, I proved a lot of people wrong. It changed my life, and I still use him every day for me and my family. Wow. And I'm like, oh, so sweet, just so sincere. And that's the thing, the sincerity. The last message is anonymous. I was asked to keep it anonymous just because, this gentleman has young children. But I love this. He says, Rocky has been a large part of his staying sober. It keeps him busy with the things he feels passionate about. The Rocky movies and music have been a distraction, almost like a sobriety tool, if you will, to keep him focused on healthy things, on staying motivated. He said he could go weeks and months without drinking alcohol because of being focused on Rocky. Wow. He says Rocky scenes and Stallone has been his voice that has cheered him on through the toughest parts of the struggle. And when he's depressed, he pictures Mickey in the flashback scene with the angels on his shoulder. That's what he said, and it reminds him that he's never alone. And now that he's connected with us, he's connecting with other Rocky fans. And he just says, he's like now addicted to something so positive that he loves it. So those are 3 fan stories. And then I want to brag about our upcoming guests. Next is Chris, and Chris is going to talk about how his house flood and how Rocky helped him through that. And then Roz is a massive weight loss story while the rest of us have been gaining weight during COVID. I'm like, please send me your diet because I have a few to lose. She got healthier. I think she's the only person on earth who actually did better. And then Paige,
that's amazing. Yeah, she's so good.
She's a riot. She is so funny. Paige is 18. She is so cute. We're going to be doing a youth episode. She's only 18, and I just love seeing new young people become Rocky fans. It's awesome.
I know Paige. I've had the pleasure of spending some time with her and her family, and not only are they beautiful people, but Paige is such an inspiration to me for what you said and what we'll be talking about. I mean, really, really just amazing. She's adorable. Nicky Petito, he's a comedian and impressionist, but his childhood, he's a funny guy, but he comes from tragic events as a young man. So we're going to hear about that. John Messina is coming on. He's Fight Story guy. Big John.
Unbelievable. Big John. I cannot wait for Fight Story to come out. He's going to be giving me the release date, and we're going to interview him just before that. Good. Yeah. And 2 more. Lorenzo Leonard, he is like the indie version of Stallone with wearing every hat. Like, you're not going to cast me? That's fine. I'll write everything, direct everything, produce everything. And he's doing that in the indie film market. He's awesome. He was on Creed. He was an extra on Creed. My kind of guy. Yeah. So he'll be talking about that. And then Annie's our guest today. Annie Pilon, Burgess Meredith's granddaughter, is coming on. That? She is my new BFF, and I am not going to say, but she has an announcement of a new project she is going to be working on. Can't wait to hear it. Now she can't get out of it because I said it publicly. Everybody. Yeah, so she's coming on to talk about that. Can I just say something about Annie? I've had several phone conversations with her over the last 2 years.
I absolutely adore her. She has such an energy to her.
Yes.
I can't get enough of. I'll talk to her for like an hour on the phone.
Yes.
And I don't talk to anybody for more than about 14 seconds on the phone. I prefer texting and emojis. It's just great. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but Annie is really great. And I cannot wait to see her here. And, she'll be taking my tour in a little bit. And I can't wait. She's adorable. The best.
She is. She radiates. I told her. I'm like,
she does.
Glows. And then for the YouTube chat, for the YouTube comments, when we're watching later, I want to hear everyone's comment about what do you think about Rocky Files t-shirts? Do you think that's something that you would be interested in? Before we look into that, we want to know what the interest in Rocky Files t-shirts could be.
Yeah, it's in discussions.
And then last but not least, Mike, this one's for you. The question, has Sly started his autobiography?
So I feel comfortable enough saying yes, that he has. He mentioned briefly on another forum, a chat forum, that he's started writing a book. I don't think it's a fictitious book. I think it's a book about his life. There's a chat fan forum called the Stallone Zone that I belong to, and for decades Sly never went. He went on under an assumed name. It was Barney. He went under the name Barney, and then when he tried to sign into his account after a few years, they booted him out. Somebody thought he was, like a hacker or something. So he puts on his official official Twitter that he tried signing in and he couldn't get in. He kicked him out, right? And so that was kind of funny. So the guy, Craig Zablo, who is somebody I know is an interesting fella, he confirmed that it is Sly. So Sly's been taking questions every once in a while from fans on over at this podcast, and they were talking about a book. And I always thought a book would be very interesting, a memoir, life story, biography, whatever.
So much, yeah.
And this question had been posed to him years before, and he had been on Larry King back when he was doing InStone, the protein line that he did back in the early 2000s, and they said, "Are you ever going to write a book?" And he goes, "I don't know." He goes, "I'd have to kind of be on my deathbed because I don't want to lie and shade things." He goes, "I really want to be brutally honest." And he goes, "Probably when I'm closer to my deathbed." So I hope he's not anywhere near.
No, he's not.
But
no way.
He may be at a point in his life where he's ready for maybe some certain truths to come out, or maybe he'll do it in a way that won't be antagonistic, but they'll just be shaded to a degree. So yes, as far as I'm aware, he is writing some type of something.
Good. That question was from Robert Kerr, I believe. Yeah.
Robert Kerr.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah.
And you answered it, because I was before you answered why he hasn't done it. I was going to ask, why hasn't he done it to this point? Because man, I'm pretty sure that book is going to be amazing. A life that he's lived. You could write a book on just filming of Rocky. Alone.
The movies. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The thing, Anthony, that's very interesting is that when he touched on this in Sly Moves. I don't know if you guys read that book from years back, but Sly Moves was very interesting, and it was in my opinion, it was a G-rated version of Sly's life because it centered mostly on working out, physical fitness, and healthy eating. Not even so much dieting as opposed to healthy eating. And it was great. I have 4 copies signed by him. So I waited in line for 8 hours at Radio City Music Hall when he came to sign or NBC. And so I waited in line. I met all these people from around the world who I still stayed in touch with. And I remember that was one of the first times I had gotten to actually sit and stand there and talk with him. Wow. And we turned out we had a mutual friend at the time. And so it was kind of cool. But anyways, yes, can't wait for a book to come out.
Yeah, cool. That's great. Yeah.
All right, what's next? What do we have next?
Oh, that's it. We're done. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.
Great show.
It's been so good so far. Why tempt fate?
We have an amazing interview, and
that's it. Right. That's it. New format. We go 15 minutes. That's it. No matter what we're going to talk.
Yeah. No. Mike has Mike has something for us.
Just a couple things.
Yeah, just some facts.
All right. So Stacy said last week somebody was asking about what was in the brown paper bag.
Yes.
All right. So I sent Anthony.
People have been waiting.
So Anthony gave me some ideas last time because I was very concerned if I tell all my stories here, no one will take my tours and I'll go broke, have to sell my house and move back in with my parents.
No. No. People
That
are
won't happen. That won't happen.
So, no, I know. So so the one somebody wrote in, what's the story with the brown paper bag? Well, I'm going to tell a small thing about it, and I'm going to say one item of the 3 things that are in there. Now, Sly told me this story personally when I was on the set of Creed 2 with him because it's been something that's been aggravating me for decades. So, Anthony, do you have the picture where Adrian is giving the dog Butkus to Rocky in the middle of the street?
Yep.
Okay. Very famous scene. Rocky gets his dog, and they have a great time. Okay. On the steps is a brown paper bag at Adrian's feet, I should say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that brown paper bag, I've wondered, is it dog food, turtle food? What is in the bag? Yeah. Well, what happens is there was a deleted scene filmed. And just Anthony, stay on this picture just for a moment. There was a deleted scene filmed back at the interior location in downtown Los Angeles where Adrian gives him all the gifts in the bag. However, I'm just going to talk about the one in particular. I think it's kind of one of the coolest ones in the bag because we see it a little bit later in Rocky 2. So, the scene in the movie as it plays out has Rocky playing with Butkus. He then goes in the apartment, and then he and Butkus go running. The scene that was filmed, never used, goes right in there. So, I think there, Anthony, you have a picture of Adrian. A black and white picture of her reaching into a brown paper bag.
Yeah.
Okay. So they go in the apartment and Adrian reaches in and she takes out all the gifts that are in the bag. Now, the next scene is, let's see, what one do I want you to put up next? Let's do the one with Mickey and Rocky. All right. This is a shot from Rocky 1. And you can tell Rocky's got the shorter hair. Yeah. Now, the interesting thing is this is a deleted scene. Rocky was running too long, so they had to cut it back, get it much closer to 2 hours. And this is basically a non-essential scene. This is a sweet, cute scene, but it really didn't progress the movie, so they deleted it. Now, we all know this Win Rocky Win shirt from Rocky 2 with Rocky jumping rope. I think I sent you that one.
Right there.
There we go. We have the Win Rocky Win shirt. Okay. Now, Sly loved this so much, all right? He had to bring what was deleted from 1 into Rocky 2. Oh. Adrian gets out of the coma. She says win, and then here we go. We have this little connection. However, go back to the second photo with Adrian holding up the t-shirt. Okay, as you all can see right there, she is holding up. It looks gray because it's black and white, but it's the powder blue t-shirt, and you can just make out the win at the top of it. Now, the scene was written where Adrian opens up her sweater and she's wearing the t-shirt, and she wanted to be kind of cute and sweet and romantic. But for whatever reasons, they decided to defer from the script, and they filmed it where she gives it to Rocky as a gift, along with a few other things that were in the bag that we would see later. So for me, I thought this was kind of an interesting thing, a way for Sly to bring that shirt back. And it is now canon for Rocky 2, and I guess it doesn't exist in Rocky 1. So I get it. However, there's one more picture, and I didn't talk to Sly about this, but maybe I'll reach out and see if I can get an answer on this one. There's another picture of Apollo Creed from Rocky 2, and I think this is kind of interesting. The Stallion in 2. And that was, you'll notice this shirt resembles Rocky's Win Rocky Win shirt very much so. So I have 2 questions. Did they go to the same printer, right? Number one, and is the Win Rocky Win shirt, is that the original shirt that Adrian held up, or did Sly have it remanufactured again?
Right.
I wonder about that.
Yeah.
I also wonder, where is the Win Rocky Win shirt? Because when Sly sold all his clothes from the movies in 15 with the Heritage Auction, I did not see the Win Rocky Win shirt. So I wonder if it ended up in the same box with Rocky bands.
Right.
Fell off the back of the truck. Yeah.
Exactly. Fell off the back of the truck, and you know, some guy in Northern California has it in his man cave. I don't know.
And another question: did Apollo Creed somehow see the Win Rocky Win shirt?
Right.
And, you know, jab him with his own.
Was he trying to psych him out?
Was he trying to psych him out? Because it's very similar.
That's a great point, Anthony, because you know how like HBO or Showtime or ESPN, they'll follow the boxers in boxing camp, and then they air it. Maybe in that universe, that Rocky universe, maybe ESPN followed Rocky around his training camp. Maybe he stopped by one day or at a distance, and maybe he was wearing that shirt, and then Creed saw it and thought, oh yeah, Win Rocky Win, I'll show you. You know, you're going down at 2. So I need to know. What was the motivation. Like what I always say, what does Vicky say? Motivation.
What is your motivation for
proper
that?
motivation. What's the motivation for Creed wearing that? You know, like what is that?
Yeah.
And these are the things that keep me up. Forget about global warming or balancing the budget or wildfires in Montana. Forget about it.
Yeah.
This keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
I'm lonely. I have no friends.
Yeah.
That's why that's why I'm here. That's it.
We're your friends.
You are my friends. You are my friends. That's true.
I'm gonna go with, because you know that's you know, late 70s, and I don't know if boxing documentaries were a big thing at the time. I'm gonna say that Apollo sent in a spy. He sent a spy to Mickey's gym.
Maybe he did.
To scout Rocky. He told him, look, he's got one of these shirts. Yeah, make me one.
Yeah, could be. It could be.
That's my theory.
But then I wonder, wouldn't Mickey know everybody coming into that gym? Mickey had that type of personality. Get that bum out of here. I don't care who he is. You know what I mean?
You would think so. Maybe he just had his back to him at one time.
Maybe came in with like a Groucho Marx glasses with the big nose and the mustache, you know, and he just snuck in with a hat. Yeah.
It was real quick. It wasn't long. Maybe it was quick.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
that's funny.
Those are some great. That's a great story. There's another one I didn't know.
Yeah,
and so those
it's
of
endless.
you, yes, it's almost endless. So those of you who don't, who would like to hear the rest of it, come take my tour in Philadelphia. You'll love it. The Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour.
Yeah.
Very, very good tour from.
Like we said, the extendo version is what you're going to hear there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I've literally never read a bad review. I mean, the reviews, and I think you just posted one. When
was that, Mike? What year was that?
I think that was a year or two ago. It came up on my timeline, and Tara Bowles and her family, they were very, very nice people, and so I think it was before COVID because we were inside the Victors. So I'm almost positive it was just before COVID, and they were just I really liked them. They had a really good energy to them, and that's the thing I always look for on my tours: people with great energy. You don't have to be the biggest Rocky fan, but just have energy, because some people take the tour and they're, like I say all the time, I'm like a broken record. They're like oil paintings. They just sit there and they don't move.
Really?
And it messes because
that must be tough. Yeah.
It can be, because, you know, I never think whatever I do is exactly where I want it to be. So I always second guess myself, and, you know, I shouldn't, I know, but, they usually end up having a good time anyway. So, but
it's tough when you're trying to have energy and you're excited about talking. But some people are just that way, but they have, like, you know, just blank expression.
Right.
They're not enjoying themselves. They're probably just listening and taking it all in. But, you know, I get it. It's like a comedian that doesn't get laughs.
That's got to be hard too, right? Like a comedian that doesn't get any laughs.
Right.
That's awful.
That's got to be tough.
No, they're just so mesmerized by.
Is that what it is?
They're mesmerized by your facts that they're just like.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. When we get down there. And, you know, I talk to you all the time, right? We're talking all the time. And I think when I get down there and you pick me up, I'm going to be like this.
I'm going to be so excited.
I think I'm going to be like that. I swear to God.
Well, Anthony and I, there'll be pictures of us going,
Yeah, that's it. Right. Me and Stacy.
I envision when I first meet Anthony, I envision it differently. I envision both of us will have our shirts off in front of the Rocky Steps, chest pumping right there in front of the Rocky Steps. That's how you do it. Stacy, high five.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. And we'll go get to dinner at the Victor's and show you more down there. We'll spend the whole day just bumming around Philly and just having fun,
Fry a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be really good.
In our official,
you know what, Stacy? You have just stolen the title from Anthony today. What a great segue. She has just stolen you.
Wow.
She has stolen
good night,
the title.
Everybody.
Right? See? That's it.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I
didn't see that coming, Stacy. That was perfect.
Yeah, Stacy was Apollo in Rocky 2. She was calling me. She wanted a rematch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
Well, you know what, Stacy? Since you did the segue, what are we segueing into, my friend?
Yeah, that's
we are talking about the Sly Stallone Shop, and that's the only place. Oh, good. Right at the bottom there, at Sly Stallone Shop. That's where you find all the official Rocky gear, Rambo gear. You'll see stuff from over the top. You'll find the fedora, props, boxing gloves, t-shirts, shoes, everything. It is a candy store for people like me going poor.
My
husband's really?
Stacey, now
another t-shirt?
You just segued again. Let's show Stacy's collection. Check this out.
All right. So here we are. This is all my t-shirts.
So for those listening, it's a picture that Stacy has sent in, and it's all her t-shirts, sweaters,
all my
props
stuff
laid out. And there's a lot of stuff there.
Right. I did find a red beret and some Adrian glasses. I would put in one small request. I would love some more Adrian props. That would be so fun, like official Adrian props.
Yeah.
That would be a riot. Yeah. So on the tour in the upper right-hand corner, you saw the black sweatsuit. This is in gold. It says Italian Stallion. And then right next to it is the pants. And then the yellow t-shirt. That is my outfit.
That's your outfit. That's amazing.
Oh, that's so excited. Beautiful.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah,
that is nice.
That's all my stuff.
They've got stuff, I'll tell you.
They've got such cool things. One of their things is a Rambo tumbler, not tumbler. It's a like a glass you put some whiskey in, maybe a few ice cubes or whatever.
Yeah, with the bullet.
With the bullet, they got a bullet going into the glass.
Through,
like it's
so cool.
I love it. I love that. I wanted to get that for my brother for Christmas. So I just think that's such a cool gift. You know what I mean? They've got everything. Some of the Rambo knives they've been carrying, and the Rocky stuff. I mean, they got everything from Thunderlips cape to Rocky's fedora to the tiger jacket. I got the tiger jacket right over my shoulder. Exactly. I mean
like a bunch of fans sent in stuff too.
Mike's stuff there. I'm going to show you. So there's Mike's stuff there. We're going to put up another picture of Stacy's collection. Again, if you can't see it, it's all her stuff laid out. And let's take a look at my collection as it stands at the moment. Boom, 2 t-shirts.
Bam! The most epic 2 t-shirts.
That's awesome.
The Rocky 4 sweater and the Rocky 3 training Italian Stallion.
What else matters?
Who has found out about the Sly Stallone Shop first, judging by photos? Definitely use.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're going to purchase something Rocky related on this, with the exception of the fedora, you got the 2 best things I think that represent the character from Rocky 4, and then of course Rocky 2, where we first saw the logo. Which, by the way, I have another question for Sylvester. If I get, we're fortunate enough to throw a bunch at him at some point. Where did the Italian Stallion logo come from? Did he come up with it, or did marketing come up with that? I always wondered that.
What a great question. Because where did that? Who thought of that?
I don't know.
Someone knows that.
Who thought of the name? Who thought of the logo?
Exactly.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. It really is.
Doesn't Stallone mean stallion in Italian?
I believe it does. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you're right. That could explain the name, but where did the logo come from? I mean, course. But who thought of it? Who came up with it? Who drew it?
I find that fascinating. To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But the Stallone Shop, I'll tell you what, they've been around for. I'm ballparking roughly 4 years.
Yeah.
How did they start?
5 years.
Was it 2017? I have to look.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
Mhm.
So, how did the Stallone Shops? Well, Sly had been thinking about a clothing line for some time, and there had also been something eating at the back of his brain for a while. You know, Sly had to sell the rights to Rocky decades ago in order to play the character. And from what I understand, they had tried numerous times to renegotiate to own some type of it, and I don't think it went exactly the way Sly would have preferred it to go.
It always blows my mind.
Yeah, I know. I know it does,
but it blows my mind.
And I know it's not like Sylvester Stallone hasn't been paid well for that, and he acknowledges that, but it's his creation. You know what I mean? Yes. He really created.
Boggles my mind. Yeah,
it does. How they could have. I understand Hollywood not letting go the golden goose and saying, "Okay, you can own it again." I understand that.
Right.
But
right.
I feel a little bit. They could give him work out some type of an appropriate agreement.
Right.
So from what I understand, there was little to nothing Sly would receive from T-shirts, posters, action figures. I think there was some type of a clause. I don't know how strict it was, but people doing action figures or T-shirts or whatever, they would have to kind of get his okay on it or get his input, which I suppose is something. So this all kept going around for a while, and there was talk way back before the shop. I remember he was going to do like jeans and like collared shirts and things of that nature. And I don't know how
clothing.
Yeah. Like a regular clothing line. Now that might've only been talk. I've never had this particular conversation with Sly. I can tell you what I've read that he said in other interviews and told other people. So then it dawns on him. The older he gets, he realizes the love for this character is so superior amongst fans. And if fans want T-shirts, they're going to buy them elsewhere. Why not buy them from him?
Yeah. Right.
Fair enough. That way he can put people in place that can really work on the brand as he sees it should be. People he trusts, people that are going to not let him down. And although I don't know any of the people personally, I know a bit of their backstories, and if Sly trusts them, then I trust them. So good enough for me. Yeah,
absolutely. How, though, I have a question. How is he allowed to use the stuff that's in the movie to sell?
So
because isn't that movie rights?
Yeah, it is.
It says it at the bottom. Doesn't it say licensed by? I went all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
I read that too, but I still, how is he allowed to use the merchandise and
so the Schomburgs, Thomas Schomburg, who did the statue, he said no problem. Go ahead, use the statue outline for your kind of logo, okay? Yeah. And the studio. Here's my understanding of it. Rocky and James Bond are United Artists' biggest characters, but United Artists doesn't own James Bond outright. From what I understand, the family of Cubby Broccoli, who created it, they own 50% or 51% or something like that. So Rocky is their golden goose, and Sylvester Stallone is still alive and kicking, and they don't want to have any drama or negative feelings with their number one guy, right? Even though the movie's 40 plus years old, they don't want to have it. So you know what, Sly, if this is something you want to do, okay.
Yeah.
That's how I understand it. I could be misinformed. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but if I am alerted or notified otherwise, I will go and correct the record.
Right. Well, see, they should be like that for everything that,
Yeah, they should have renegotiated is what they should have done back at Rocky 3. I understand Rocky 1, Rocky 2, they're going to stay close to the vest. But by the time Rocky 3 comes along, I would have thought at about that point, there would have been a renegotiation of, ownership to some degree, some degree. So, but I can tell you, like you said, Stacy, it's candy shop for people like us. If I had this store available to me in 1985 or 1980, are you kidding me? My head would have exploded at every Christmas.
It's so true.
Oh yeah.
As a kid,
we didn't have that stuff.
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little.
There was nothing. I mean, you'd go to like Walmart and there'd be like the odd Rocky 1 poster, just the Rocky. That's it. Like you couldn't get any clothing, figures.
No,
it was
very rare.
Very sparse. That is why I don't really have a lot of memorabilia, because it was very sparse. Where are you going to find things? There was no online at the time. So
right.
Very hard to find stuff a very long time ago. So
they were very, very limited with that. And just huge thanks. And I think forward thinking to Sylvester for kind of making this happen, and the team that he has. Like I said, I know he has a couple of people in place that do things, and they seem to be doing a real bang up job of it. So I'm very, very impressed. And like I said, I probably have about $2,800 worth of stuff from
easily
the shop,
easily,
something like that. I have quite a lot, and I've got a wish list. My birthday's coming up, so I've just handed my wish list to my wife. I don't know if she's choosing anything from it, or if she'll just take me out for a BLT and a glass of water. I don't know what she's doing. Maybe a cupcake and one candle.
That's cupcake and a candle.
Didn't you say you had 54 T-shirts? So how many T-shirts do you have?
So I put together a little video. I don't know if anybody cares to see it. I don't know, but maybe we'll play it in a little bit if you want.
We will.
But but I can't. It came close. I have 54 T-shirts, but I have 65 or 66 altogether. There were a few rolled up in storage that I put that I didn't bring out, and but I wear them. So a lot of people think, Jesus Christ, Mike. I mean, 60 plus T-shirts and the tiger jacket and the Italian Stallion jacket, and I've got the Italian Stallion sweatshirt that Anthony's wearing. So I've got all these things, and it's like it costs us a fortune, but it's a tax write-off.
Yes.
Because it's for my job. Yes.
Right.
It's all a tax write-off. So just get this. I got to tell you this before we move on. So every time I get a shirt or whatever, I'll tell my wife it's going to be on the card, the bank card. So my wife's going to see it when she goes through she goes, you got another shirt, huh?
Honey.
I go, what can I tell you? And she goes, that shirt is X and much dollars. She goes, really? You don't have enough already? And I go, well, one, you can never have enough Sylvester Stallone Rocky stuff. Can't have enough.
Which you need for work.
I need for work.
Like a uniform.
You like living in this house, huh? You like coming down in the Rocky room with me? Having a glass of whiskey, looking around, thinking everything?
You like
work. That? It's for work. I said, it's all a write-off. And she goes, yes, I understand it's a write-off, but you still got to come up with the cash first. She goes, it ain't a write-off until next year.
Yeah, Sue's the best.
Sue's coming on. You got to tell her we're not letting her off the hook.
No,
she's
the best.
I'm not even going to be here. I'm going to let her sit in the chair. She's going to do this, and I'll go elsewhere. So she'll be unencumbered, and she can just goof on me all she wants.
Don't even be in the house. Just leave the house.
Listen, before we segue, do we have time for just one? Oh no, we don't have time. We're running late. All right, I'll save it for next time. Remind me to tell you the Olive Garden. It's about the championship belt. Take a look at this. I don't know if you can see it. The belt. Okay. All right. I got a great story about this belt, and I'll tell you about it. Our next show. We'll save it
for 5. Yeah. We'll do it for 5.
Type it.
I got it on my spreadsheet.
Type it, Stacy. Don't forget. We did the Olive Garden.
That was the very Sly signal.
Exactly.
When we want Stacy to log something, we do this. So
exactly.
If people see this again, I'm not mentally regular.
This is the national check. I'm ready for the check at the restaurant from the waiter, right?
So we just go like
type.
This. Type.
Around here, people go check.
Check, check, exactly.
Yeah.
In Philly, they just go check, yo.
I'll break your kneecaps.
Hey, listen, did did we do an interview this week?
Absolutely.
We got an interview this week, right?
Yes.
We
Stacey,
do.
who was it? You
know her pretty well,
spoke to her really well.
Yeah, Amy. She is dynamite. She's a uber fan from Mike's tour.
Oh yeah,
and she's even tattooed for Rocky. It is. It keeps her focused on positive things, and she's faced some real negative stuff, and it keeps her focused. So everyone's going to enjoy her. She's adorable. She sent us in some great photos and little videos that we're gonna get in with it too. So
I can't wait.
She's up next.
Anthony, are we ready to play the world famous video that we had? We had our crack team from the Rocky Files home office come out to my house and film what I have.
Yes.
Yeah, YouTube came out too. We had the reporters and the camera crew from YouTube and Hollywood come out, and it's all here.
We're all there. It's in the queue, and we're gonna play it.
Boom.
Next, and then after that, Amy's interview.
Yo, Amy.
Stay tuned, guys.
Okay, we have Amy coming into us. I had a great conversation with her. I'm just going to let her tell her story. So, Anthony, can you bring her in?
Amy.
Hey.
Hi.
Amy.
There
Welcome.
she is.
It's
nice to see you.
Good to see you again.
All right.
How are you?
I'm great. So great.
Well, we're so glad you're here. Welcome into the Rocky Files. You are episode 4.
Yes.
We're so glad you're here. I'm going to start off with an amazing basic question that we love to ask everybody, just to gauge who you are. What is your favorite Rocky?
Rocky 3.
Rocky 3.
All right. Yep. Tell us about that.
Well, my favorite is when Apollo comes to redeem him, and he meets him in Mickey's gym, and he says, when we fought, you had the eye of the tiger. I have a tiger, and now I want to get it back. And the only way to do it is to get back to the beginning. I just love it, and I love from that moment. I don't love when Mickey dies, but I love how Apollo comes in and saves him. You wouldn't have predicted that in the first 2, and they totally surprised us by making them now work together. And I just love from that moment, from when he talks to him in Mickey's gym, and then they go and train in LA. And just my favorite scene is on the beach when he doesn't have it in him yet. And Adrian says, "Can I talk to you?" And then you see that she's just as much of a fighter. And in fact, he asks her, how'd you get to be so tough? And she said, I live with a fighter. So that's like one of my favorite scenes in all the Rockies, is when she talks to him on the beach. Yeah. And then she motivates him, and then obviously then he starts getting motivated. And I just love watching the montage of them train. And of course, Eye of the Tiger has been part of me for so long. Then I got my tattoo of.
Yep. I told you to be ready with that. Look at that. It's awesome.
That's the first tattoo I got. It means a lot to me because it says Survivor on there, like the band, but it means I'm a survivor of this life. And it reminds me, I have the Eye of the Tiger on my shoulder, kind of like how Mickey always said, I'm going to be on your shoulder. So that was my first one. And it just means a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Go
ahead, Anthony. No, I was going to say, hey, tell me about Mike's tour. Your video for Mike's tour was adorable. And I was like,
oh my gosh. I want to say, I have my life is like a human has changed since your tour, Mike.
You hit the lottery?
Oh, I wish, but I hit the lottery as far as emotionally, as far as mentally, getting to be with you and that experience made me the closest I've ever felt to being with Sly, Rocky, and you are so, it's not just like a persona. It's like I felt you and him as a mix. And I mean, I wanted that tour to go on for 5 days. I was like, no, like when it was done. And even like my boyfriend filmed me like this, like behind you, just like Diana, just listening to everything that you were doing. And I couldn't get enough. And I love all the behind the scenes snippets, and I love all that. But it was being with you. I felt like I was with Rocky, but I felt like I was with you too. And both of that came through with so much heart. that I've been talking about it ever since. I've been talking about you, Mike, ever since. I just feel like there was a reason, and I'm so blessed that we crossed paths.
Well, yeah, I feel very, very similar to that. I knew it was going to be a great tour when I pulled up in front of the hotel and she's standing there. She's doing jumping jacks. She's throwing punches, right? And she's got her Rocky gear on, and she had a smile. I'm not kidding you. It was from ear to ear. I mean, she
like this.
Exactly. And I just knew there was an energy and a vibe because Amy, I think I told you this, guys. I know I've shared this with you all the time. For me, the tours are I feed off of the energy that people bring to them, and sometimes people are like an oil painting. They don't move. They just how do you react to that sometimes? So, but Amy, I wish every tour was like yours, especially in the energy department. You were so like back and forth with me, like you did listen. Obviously, you were listening, but you were telling me stories about your own life, which I just thought was an amazing journey you've been on, and I can't thank you enough for trusting me.
Please,
the tour. It was great.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I kept saying out loud. I don't know if you heard me, Mike. I kept saying like, "Oh my God, it's like one of my best moments of my life." Oh my God, it's one of my best moments of my life. I just kept saying it out loud. And I feel like it's brought me into this like little universe, like you three, of people who get it. Like people have always accepted my Rocky fanaticism. Like, oh, that's cool. That's cute. All right. That's Rocky. Right. But like, I'm now into this universe of like my people. And like, I've been waiting to find my people who get it at a different level, like not just like, that's cute. They're like, yep, we know. And so that's what this opened up for me too, Mike. It just so much. And then us seeing you, remember, it was definitely fate that we saw
a couple days later, right?
Yeah. Because you were down at the bottom of the steps and we were at the top. It was like my third or fourth time going that trip. And I'm looking out, enjoying my view that I've been waiting to see my whole life. And then all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, Mike's down there. And so I was running down the stairs, and it was just serendipitous that I got to see you a second time, because I definitely didn't think that was going to happen.
Here's the funny thing about that moment where I saw you the day after the tour or whatever, 2 days later, whatever it was. So it was like that scene in The Lion King when they raise Simba up, Sir, Hakuna Matata, and she comes running over. It's like, yes, we rebonded again. That's what that scene was like. She was just beaming. Your boyfriend was beaming. It was really sweet. My clients were going up the steps there. They were doing their thing, and so we got to reconnect a little bit. And I think you're going to a Yankee or a Phillies game.
We went to the Phillies game that day.
Oh, okay. Did the Phils win?
They lost.
Figures.
I just love baseball, so it was fun to just be at a game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And who cares? You took Mike's tour.
Yeah. that's all that matters.
That's why you were there.
Honestly, people who don't get it are like, okay, but what else do you do? I'm like, well, I want to keep talking about my tour. They're like, I just want to keep talking about it. They're like, okay. Like, I'm like, but don't you understand? That's why I went my whole life. That was my bucket list. That was the top of my bucket list, was to do the Rocky tour, get on those steps. And I'm like, to understand, that's why I was there. The other stuff is secondary. So that's why I was there.
Mike's definitely an official source. And so like when you were saying you felt like there was a mix, I mean, talk about an official source, official part of the brand. You can't really get closer than that. So we're gonna get there ourselves.
I always have this image of like, Mike's not gonna like this because he's such a humble guy, but the three of us don't you? I have this picture of Mike as like the Moses of Rocky.
Yes,
and like he, like all of us are like following him.
I agree.
Into the like he's such a humble and amazing guy. And look, I know he hates it, but without him in a way, none of this happens. Like, like, we just watch a movie and we can love it, but Mike has kind of in this way brought all Rocky fans together to talk about our love, like Amy was saying. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just feel like without him, it doesn't really happen. Anthony. I'm not doing this.
It's absolutely true.
I'm not doing
this.
Stacy's not doing such a great guy.
I'm an authority on the comments that are coming in from.
You are.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because I'm reading all day long. This is like my new life now. I'm so happy. I mean, I love Mike. Mike's tour was the best. They were going on and on. I mean, you're like bringing it to regular people. Like regular people can't get to Sly. Like that's not possible. You know what I'm saying? But you are uniting all us crazies together, and she's absolutely right. You know, we're all fanatics in our own friend circle or family circle, and they're like, oh yeah, that's cute. And
you know, it's like, Stacy, you know, I hate to cut you off on that, but here's the, like, listening to what Anthony had said earlier, like about being Moses, right, for Rocky fans. So instead of, you know, the burning bush on the mountain and the Ten Commandments, all right, so there's a burning barrel of fire at the top of the Rocky
That's
step,
right.
and it's like Sly's voice, Rocky's voice, right? And the tablets pop out, and I walk down the Rocky steps. My hair is long and gray, and I've got one of the Rocky robes on.
That's right.
I give you the 10 Rocky commandments on how to live life.
That's right.
Right?
Yes,
that's right.
You got it.
There's no other metaphor better than that one, right?
No, it's true. But the fans saying, I finally found my people. I said that to my mother the other day. She's like, you seem so happy. I think the world in general lacks some sensitivity. All the sensitive people of the world are Rocky fans. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it would seem.
Yeah. Everyone is so nice. And I know Amy's experiencing that, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is so fun. Everyone's so nice. I completely get it. Completely get
it.
Amy,
let's stay on the Mike tour for a second, because, you know, I'm not going to rest until I get to come down, Stacy gets to come down, and we get to do the tour and then do an episode of this podcast there. That's my goal.
Yes.
I would love to do this, but I would love to come down regardless. But
that'd be so fun.
What makes, for those who haven't taken it, me, Stacy, what makes his tour so special?
I mean, still the heart thing, just feeling. You're so kind, Mike. Your passion shines so through. And I watched your movie, and I was like, I'm so glad I met you first and spent that time with you alone. And then saw the movie, because I felt like I'm like, oh my God, I just love him. And it's because I also spent that time with you. And so I could feel, I know you were genuine, but I could feel it because we were together. And I would say, Anthony, that his knowledge, as we know, supersedes probably anybody else's knowledge of the Rocky series. And what I love is that he'll stop you, and then he'll say, see this over here? Hold on 1 second. He will show you the clip from the movie, and then say, so do you see this right here where we're stopped? See how how Rocky's running right there, and you can see like the water and everything? He'll be like, there it is. That's where he was running. That was one of the coolest aspects, is that he'd stop, show you screenshots of movie clips, and compare it to where we were sitting at the time. Yeah. And I thought that was unbelievable. I wasn't expecting anything like that. That really added a lot to the tour.
Wow. That is cool. So Anthony, like we all got to be there at the same time when we get there.
I already told you my plan. We're gonna make it happen somehow.
Yeah,
take me. I'll go again.
Sure. Yeah, I put my outfit.
Amy will be. Amy, would you be my assistant? You can film everything for us, right?
Oh, please.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I need a recorded account. Yeah,
Mike. Yes.
She will. She's 1,000% serious. She will absolutely be there.
1,000,000% serious. Not even 1,000.
No, Amy, I told my wife all about you. She would love to meet you. She just thinks you're infectious with your Rocky attitude. It's amazing. You've just got an air of genuine goodness to you. So come on.
Yeah.
So don't have to ask me twice. When's the flight? I'm on.
Right. We got to play the video too. I would like to cut in the video with her that Mike played. We
was so
put it on the episode.
So spontaneous.
Yeah, it was for spontaneous. You were like on fire, and I texted Mike. I'm like, okay, she's on immediately. Yeah,
it was immediate. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Amy, she was a natural.
Yeah, no, you were just like, for something not rehearsed, it was like right on. I was like, wow. Yeah. Amy, we had talked about a lot of things that you're going through personal. One step, one punch, one round. You know what I'm saying? And that's a tattoo on her arm. And I'll leave it to you, but I know personally you were going through some tough stuff, and I wanted you to be able to get to that.
Sure. The whole Rocky thing started because my mom thought Sly was cute. And then beyond that, he said, you have to see this. It's so inspirational. So as a kid, it came out in the year I was born. I'm a September 75 baby. So within the year it came out. And so I didn't see it, as a little kid, but then as I got older, I watched it. And then as I got older and the movies kept coming out, we'd watch them and we'd talk about them. And then we'd wait for the next one, however many years, and we would talk about it and watch it. And it became our thing. And I'm so blessed that she got me into that. Well, first of all, I lost her last month, and she was so supportive of my love for Rocky. One of the reasons I couldn't wait to get on those steps was to honor her. She knew that was like my dream, and I did it for her on top of anything else. But she was a picture of a survivor, a picture of a warrior, even before those last hard months, because she would go through a lot of things and she would always rise to the top. She would always get back up. And I knew that was something I was going to have to use. I just felt it, that I would have to be inspired by it. And about 6 years ago, I went through a separation. I started a separation that ended up being a pretty contentious divorce situation. And I just used this mentality day after day, sometimes hours in the same day. And my mentality is a few things. First thing is I have the mentality of I didn't hear no bell. So no matter how hard things get, if I decide that I haven't heard a bell, then I'm not going down and I'm not giving up. So that's one of my mentalities that I've taken from the Rocky series is I didn't hear no bell. That motivates me all the time. When he says that it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And that's how winning is done. It's another life thing that I take with me all the time, because I got a lot of blows. I really did. And I'm like, okay, but I'm going to keep going. I, no matter what blows come my way, even if I want to go down on the mat, which I try not to, but even if I get down on that mat, I am going to stand back up. I'm not going to stay down on the mat. Right. First, I'm going to try to stand toe to toe and not go down and go the 15 rounds. But if I have to go down, I'm getting back up. And I just kept thinking that through my divorce, when we were in the heaviness of the trial, and I would play the Rocky clips and the Rocky movie and the songs, and it would motivate me. You're going to stay focused. You're not going to let anything bring you down. You're going to stay up and you're going to be strong. And it was so inspirational. I was so blessed that my mom made me get into these movies, because I took them to a level of, okay, I'm going to be inspired by what the messages are here. Yeah. And then it was so amazing when I saw Creed. I think I was telling Stacy, but maybe Mike too. I'd watched for a year them film Creed, like on Facebook and everything, and I couldn't wait. And then Creed comes out in 2015, Thanksgiving, and I'm there for the first day of Thanksgiving. And I take my little Rocky doll from Rocky 4. He had like the American flag shorts. And I'm sitting in the Rocky theater. I'm by myself, but it's packed. And I'm watching this movie and I'm bawling my brains. I bawl. Because first of all, I never thought I would see another Rocky movie, especially in the theaters. But they were bringing everything for the Rocky fanatics. They were hitting all the things that only if you were a Rocky fanatic, you would get. You would get all the references. You would get everything that they were talking about. When they revealed, well, I think I told both Mike and Stacy this. When he said Unc, I was hysterical. I was like, I can't believe that Creed's son is calling Rocky Unc. That was hysterical for me. And then when we found out that who won that third fight, or at least Rocky made Donnie think, I know who won that third fight, your dad did, as they're in Adrian's, that was like, we've been waiting for since Rocky 3, and we didn't think we'd ever get that answer.
Right.
And so I watched that, and that's when he was training Donnie, and that's when he said, one step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time. And I was like, wait, that's my new motto. That is my new motto. When I'm going through life, because people say, oh, you have to take it a day at a time. Well, I'm taking it with the Rocky motto and saying, one step, one punch, one round. And that's why I knew it was going to be my next tattoo. And I got that one right before Creed 2 came out, which, I mean, it just keeps following me with inspiration. So the divorce was really hard. Then my mom passing was really hard, but I felt the energy of keep going, be that survivor, be that warrior, be strong for her, find the strength that you didn't think you had. And I'm grateful for it. It just gives me a lot of self-power and realization that I can do it, and that I'm not going to let anything officially get me down. Yeah.
Isn't that an amazing gift to give yourself, to empower yourself to be empowered? That's wonderful.
Yes. Yes. I'm grateful. I mean, it went beyond, oh, I love Sly and he's cute and that's a great Rocky movie. Like I took it to be like my life inspiration. Right. And so I'm just grateful. I mean, I don't know how I would do, because people are like, you're so strong. I'm like, you know what? I don't see a choice, right? Because if you refuse to go down, then, you know, you're not choosing that it's going to get you that bad, even on the hardest moments, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to stay strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I always tell the guys this, that it's just something that is ingrained that you don't even think about it.
No,
I think I was saying this last episode to the both of you, Mike and Stacy, that I was saying to Mike that I didn't have your DNA change. Like you, Mike, you really felt it did something to you.
Yes.
I didn't. It was more quiet for me, and I think I know what Amy's talking about. It's not something that it was like boom, but as you go along in life, and you need to draw from certain things, it's always rocky.
Yeah.
It always comes from there, and that you just take little bits of whatever you need to keep going. It's crazy, but it works.
Yeah, and I love how the Rockies also give you an example of what's acceptable in life and what's not acceptable in life, and especially relationships. You know what I'm saying? Amy and I could go on all day about exes, you know, and certain things. And I think, Amy, I don't know if I showed you this in when we talked, but you know, I've had lots of women who are complaining about their boyfriend or their husband, and I've said many times to many women, there's really only one question to clarify what you need to do with that guy. And the question, I'm going to see, can you see it? Girl, would Rocky ever treat Adrian like that?
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's on my quote page. I created that. But this is true. And it's true in both directions, because you can say, dude, would Adrian ever treat Rocky like that?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the perfect example of what a healthy, respectable, you know, respectful relationship looks like.
Right.
And I want to, you know, Amy and I talked about that, and I want to say to all women everywhere, you need to think about that. And and same with men.
Yeah.
Are you someone who's with someone who's not kind? And I think that is the only question you need to ask to decide what you're doing with this relationship that you're in.
I agree. That's actually what I put forth to my children. You know, they're getting older. I have an almost 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And so the thing I've made clear to them is whoever you're going to be with, because I just want you to be with a kind person. How do they treat you? Are they treating you nicely? I don't care. I don't care what they are. I want to know, did they treat you kindly? Are you treating them kindly? That's all that matters to me. And I've been putting that in their heads as they're getting closer to want to date, because I believe that. I believe that. And I want them to know that I believe that as long as they're being treated well, that's all that matters to me. And then I want them to be treating their person well as well. You know, the same thing.
Have you seen that take hold, Amy, in your kids?
Yeah, they haven't dated yet, but I find that they're trying to gravitate towards people, like at least friends.
Okay.
That seem to be like good people.
Yeah.
And you know, Mike, I want to say this because I wanted to make sure you knew. You talked so much about your lovely wife on the tour and how supportive she is of you and how she inspires you. And then watching the movie brought that all together. I mean, I said to Jay, you know, I was like, he's so right. You could feel the love and the support of your wife. She is just so wanting you to live your dreams, and she is behind you all the way. And I mean, I felt it. It was so heartfelt. I mean, I really did. I watched her, the way she looked at you, the things she said about you. I was like, he was right. I mean, she is his Adrian for sure.
Yeah, she's a big part of the tour. She's a big heart of the tour in many aspects. I couldn't do what I'm doing without her. I wouldn't be the almost decent human being I am without her. I can't I can't find my shoes without her in the morning.
But you know, the way you prioritize her though is adorable. We've like, okay, we're going to record this night or this night. And you're like, well, Sue's home this evening. And you know what I'm saying? I want to spend time with her. She gets home by this time and I want to focus on her. I'm like, that is so Rocky. You know what I'm saying? That is what you do for her. And that's what men should be doing for their wives. And that's what wives should be doing for their men. And, you know, there are certainly toxic women too, but, Yeah. It's just a perfect example. Like, sorry, I'm repeating myself. It's just a perfect example of a relationship.
Thank you. That'll make Sue smile when she sees this. She will. She will definitely smile. But I think I do think in general, Rocky is I think a bit of a blueprint. Maybe, if you've failed at life enough times to keep going, and you never know what's going to be around the corner. In Rocky's case, it was shot at the title. It was a girlfriend. It was the girl that really made him complete, because we all know Rocky would not be Rocky without the Adrian factor. It's all about that. I've often said, I wish I could get an hour with Talia Shire just to sit with her and just, I no pictures, no video.
Oh,
I mean,
it'd be amazing,
there would be video and there would be pictures, but I would do it without it. I would love to hear her thoughts, her inner thoughts, because we've all heard so much from Sly over the years on his perception, which is like, I would love to hear Talia's perception as she looked at Sly, as she looked at Burgess and Burt Young during filming. What was she thinking that she kept to herself quite often? Because Sue is like that. My mother is like that. Stacy, you're even like that to a degree, where you keep, when you say something, you have to say, you say it. You know what I mean? And that's that Adrian model in a way, where, like if she explodes on the beach, you know what I mean? It's that she does what she has to do when the time calls for it.
Yeah.
And,
quiet until, exactly.
We all just want a partner in a spouse like that. I mean, I think.
No, 100%.
Who wants the drama? No drama.
No drama. I totally relate to Amy's story, because I had something very similar happen. And I found my Adrian.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Sandra, my wife, I found my Adrian, and drawing on Rocky helped. And now you can really see, the difference. It's unbelievable. And it's funny, we're rewatching Rocky now. So we finished Rocky 2 the other night, and my wife Sandra doesn't really, her favorite's number 4. She doesn't really remember too much about 1, 2, 3, and so on. She really remembers 4 a lot, but 1 and 2, she really was blown away by. She couldn't remember the love. Like how Rocky treated her so well. And she was really blown away, but she couldn't remember those moments where he just treats her like an angel, and she loved that part. And opposite, I'm watching it now, and I'm seeing my wife, I'm seeing Adrian, because she treats me that way. So I relate to your story, and
I found my Rocky now. So I finally found my great guy. It took a long time. I have mine now. So
how's he doing, by the way?
He's doing great. He has been loving me being so excited about this. He says hi.
Hello back.
Hi.
He just wants me to continue to be happy. He's so happy that we got this connection. But I finally found the person who just loves and supports me and is right by my side, and is just there to lift me up. And I do the same for him. And it is a different. You feel a difference when that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure. My husband. I mean, I'll tell you about my husband. It's funny because like Rocky's the dreamer, and Adrian's the anchor, and it's for us it's like I'm the dreamer, like there's no dream too big for me, and he's the anchor. He's always there, and it's I don't know how to explain it, but he's just that person that's like I'm like, I tell him what happened, this happened and this happened, and I talk to this person, and he just sits there and listens. He's very patient, but then he'll be like, he's also will be like, I don't know, he'll the way Adrian would, you know what I'm saying? Be that, consider this or consider that. And then you're like, oh yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's the same personalities, but reverse. He's definitely that solid,
that's great,
consistent, level person.
That's what you need.
I'm like,
you gotta have that. You have 2 dreamers in the family. If both partners are dreamers, you're living in a van down by the river. More than likely. Okay.
You need some rational things.
Are you kidding me? There's a reason Sue and I have a savings account. Not because of me. There's a reason there's a reason our bills are paid on time. I go with the philosophy there's a grace period for every bill under the sun. Okay. Sue's like, no, we pay it on time. We want to have good credit scores. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's so funny.
Yeah. No, but I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what? We talked about this too, Mike, and you guys are touching on it. People don't understand that Rocky's actually a love story driven by Adrian.
Yes.
They think it's a boxing movie, a sports movie, a fighting movie, but it's actually a love story of Adrian and his love and how she lifts him up. He lifts her up. He takes her from living with her brother in a small apartment and having no life, and he gives her life, but then she gives him the life. I mean, really, people don't know that unless you're a big fan. Right. You know, it's about them, and then and then the boxing and the fighting is around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, one of the things I was trying to explain to Sue, and I did a very poor job of it. I was trying to explain to Sue what it is you do. I ended up telling her that you were a producer of movies and TVs, and I'm not sure that was right. Would you? Yes, I know. I got it all screwed up. Could you please give us what was it like? Do you remember what you were telling me when you were involved doing Hollywood stuff?
Yes.
What was that like, and how did that affect you and change your life, if it did at all?
It did. So currently I'm not working in the business, but my dream, talk about being a dreamer and making something happen. When I was 15, my dad took me out to us out to LA, and I looked at the Hollywood sign, and I felt like that was calling me home as well. So I said to my dad, I'm going to live here. I'm going to be here. He was like, okay, well, slow down. I want you to finish high school. I want you to go to college. I want you to major in something that's not performing, because I'm a singer and I've done musicals and plays and everything. And he's like, I want you to study something else. You get to the end of that, I fully support you going to LA. I'd not lose focus. Talk about a laser beam focus. That was all I thought about. That's all I cared about. Wow. I did everything he asked me to do. I got a degree in early childhood because my other love is little kids. And I performed on the side. And then a year and a half after I graduated, I was out there because my focus was laser. That's but I didn't meet him. And I'm like, come on, what does a girl have to do?
Yeah.
I know, really.
Well, hang on in Philly in November. He'll be in Philly in November.
He'll be in there, yeah. Yeah, he'll be there.
Don't think I'm not coming. I've already talked about this. I'm not.
It's right. That's very true.
Do you want to hear something cool? We went to the Philly Zoo as part of the Rocky experience. Right. We went ourselves. We found the tiger exhibit. Obviously, it looks very different than when it was filmed. It's now
Mr. Tiger?
Well, it's enclosed and everything. So what we did, it's really cool. I'll have to send you guys this picture. I leaned by the glass like this, and the tiger walked right in front of me. Oh. And with my tattoo, there's a picture of my tattoo and the tiger walking right past me. And then there's a live action as he's like walking, and my tattoo is like highlighted with the tiger walking right towards me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You should post that. You should post that.
You have to understand, I'm really bad at Instagram, so I'm learning. I'm learning Instagram.
Send it to me. I will post it.
I'll post an expert now.
Please, I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, I'll post it.
I thought Amy was going to say, you're not going to believe what the tiger did. As the tiger gets over, I showed the tiger my tattoo, and then the tiger stood up and parted his hair on his shoulder and showed me his human tattoo.
Yeah, this is you. Yeah,
this is you.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
We know about you in the tiger world, Amy.
Oh my gosh, that would be
our
hilarious.
Inspiration.
Oh man, that was cool though. I need that jacket. I'm gonna work on it.
Amy, tell me something. When you need to draw strength from Rocky, what do you use? Is there a certain scene, a certain song? Do you take it from one of the movies, a certain line?
So There's No Easy Way Out is kind of my anthem because words are very pertinent to like when I feel like I'm in a hard situation. And so I feel like that song and just the beats and the melody, and I blast it like on repeat over and over.
Oh yeah. Crank it up.
I mean, I crank it. And I feel like that inspires me. But Burning Heart too, because I'm a Survivor fan. That just gets my heart pumping.
Yeah.
And of course, They're Gonna Fly Now. And I have the Tiger. I mean, those are like my four, right? And I think about them for different reasons. And scenes wise, obviously, I think about the beach on the scene. I mean, the scene on the beach. And obviously, when he's talking to his son and he does the world's not all, rainbows. And I think about that scene. I think about when he's street fighting Tommy and he sees Mickey and he's down. And Mickey's like, now get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. And that's when he's like, I didn't hear no bell.
I love that.
And that's where my no bell comes from. So there's a ton. I love when she's finally wakes up from the coma from having the baby, and she says, "There's one thing I want you to do for me." And she's like, "Come here." And he gets closer, and she's like, "Win." And I love Mickey's like, "What are we waiting for?" I mean,
love that training sequence.
I love that training sequence. You know, there was like a video of a little kid imitating it. I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube, like a 2-year-old doing it with him, like the montage.
Oh yes.
So
part of our opening.
Yeah, we have that in our video. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And so my kids did it. I should send you that video too. I had my kids do it about 5 years ago, and they're adorable. They're watching it and they're doing everything with them. They're lifting their log. They're going down. They're doing they're getting the sit-ups with it on their stomach. Wow. So I love that's probably one of the best montages. I mean, you can't love it. And what I love about There's No Easy Way Out, if you think about it in the movie, is that it's a montage of all the Rockies. My kids, when they were little, I think I was telling Mike this, I'd be like, all right, start saying which ones. They're like 1, 4, 2. Like that's and I'm like, oh, drop the mic. I've done my job. But yeah, so that's some of the scenes. I could go on and on and on and on. I told you when Creed 2 came out and they ended it the way they did. Again, we never thought we'd see any of this.
Yeah.
Again, bawling my brains out. And I was like, oh my God. You know, again, you see Rocky 4 that lives with you forever. That's pretty brutal with Apollo. And then they do this in Creed 2. And I was like, oh my God. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I find it depends what you need. Like for me, what I need to use, what song, what line, depends on what I need. Do I need to pump up? Do I need to feel better? Do I need to? So it depends on what you go to. Depends on what I'm feeling, what I need to use. That's, and there's so much to draw from, which is great.
So much. Those are just like a few snippets that came to mind, but so much. I just adore it. I adore it so much, obviously.
Yeah.
Amy, one of the questions I like to ask you, I always try to, like on my end of things, as we get down to the end of an interview, I always like to ask people if you had 30 seconds in an elevator.
I love this one.
I saw this on your other ones.
Yeah. so I always say if you had 30 seconds in an elevator with Sylvester Stallone, what would you want to say between floors? When I asked Anthony and Stacy, apparently they were at the Empire State Building going from the top to the bottom.
It was 100 floors. We were at the same tower of
exactly. Yeah. But if you had 30 seconds, that's the reason why it's 30 seconds is because it's so tight. It's like you may never get that, but you might get 30. You're never going to get an hour. You might not get an hour. But if you had 30 seconds, what would you say to Sly?
Okay, I would try not to cry because I already feel emotional. I would just say I've wanted to meet you my whole life because you have been an inspiration of strength and success and power and realizing that what you have inside of you, and whether it was you as Sly writing the movie and then making sure you were in it, and then what you put in the movies and the themes in there, you always showed that you just stay strong. You stand with what you believe in. You don't go down. If you go down, you get back up. And you stand toe to toe until the end. And I want to thank you for making me realize that that's how I should live. And it's helped me live and survive. And I'll ever be grateful for what you've taught me.
Oh my
Amazing.
Gosh,
and she stayed within 30 seconds.
Wow.
She didn't cry. She kept it cool, calm, and collected.
That's perfect.
This kid's got class. I'm telling you, she's going places.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was great.
You did great. You did so good, Amy. That was awesome.
So now I'm going to see it, right? So, like, hey, Sly, what's up, right?
He might see it. I always tell people, you just don't know what's around the corner tomorrow. None of us do. Good, bad, or indifferent. And Sly's a busy guy, like a lot of us. We're very busy, but he may click and say, let's see what's going on in the Rocky universe. And if he stumbles across this, he's going to see you and he'll see your wonderful 30-second, your whole story, really. And who knows? Maybe he'll open up a window and say, yo, Amy, how you doing? Who knows?
Honestly, I've said that to people. I'm like, honestly, even if he puts it like on a recording, so that I could just say, yo, Amy, keep punching. I'd be like, that's it. I just couldn't replay that over and over again on a recording.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you said that. If I just had like those few words.
You never know.
Never know.
You never know.
No, you never know.
I'm just going to say for myself, thank you. It's great talking with you. I knew you were going to be amazing when you were on the tour. You're fantastic now, and I wish you all the best in life. And I think we're going to see each other again, whether it's back in Philly or it's here on the podcast.
I know
for sure.
I know it. I thank you guys so much for having me. This has been a dream.
You were amazing. Amy, before you go, give us a keep punching.
Keep punching.
Keep punching. Nice.
With my keep punching bracelet.
Perfect.
I love it.
Thank you, Amy.
I can hear
Thanks so much.
I had a tiger playing.
I have a tiger. Bye.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Bye. So I got to tell you, there is such a wonderful positive energy to Amy. No matter how difficult her life had gotten, she takes those life lessons from Rocky. She takes life on the chin and she keeps going. She applies that philosophy, something I've tried my whole life, to something I know you two have done, and lots of other fans have tried to do that. But she does it in a way that's so heartfelt and genuine, and I am so glad we got her on this.
Yeah.
I really am.
Fantastic. And I just, we talked a lot about her relationships, girls, we're always talking about relationships and stuff. And you do get so discouraged and you feel like you're not connecting. And I just, I think the Rocky Adrian relationship just gave her hope that it's possible to be that connected to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And now here she is. She can't say enough nice things about him. And she's just so content with him. And it's, you can see the relief on her face, like, and how supportive he is of her, the way, Sue is supportive of you and Sandra's supportive of you. Now she has that, and it's fantastic. And Kevin is supportive of me, so
of course.
It's nice to arrive there.
Absolutely.
So,
I really related to her story, because similar to mine, and to see what she went through and what I went through, I know what she was going through. So I really felt her pain and now her relief, and that she found happiness. Same thing happened to me, and to use Rocky all the way along helped me as well. Like I said, it's in the back, right?
Yeah.
You don't even know, but I drew from it and she drew from it, and it helped her. And to see now the smile on her face is the same thing that's happening to me now that I found my Adrian. So I really related to her, and it's great to see her so happy now and doing what she loves. It was great.
She's one in a million. She really is. And I do think I think she's going to be involved on our podcast at some point again. I think she's going to be
I think she's going to hold the camera to record Anthony. I'm telling you, she is there. We already have our camera girl. She is absolutely going to be there. Yeah,
when we come down there,
that's going to be great.
That's going to be a fun tour. We're going to be crazy.
I'm gonna just warning, I'm gonna be a disaster. Just a warning. So
that's right. Then we'll all come back to my house and Sue will have a big dinner for us all.
Awesome.
So Sue, I don't know if you're watching this, Sue, or whenever you're watching this.
Surprise!
Surprise! Haha! Dinner. You're making brajol and ravioli.
Yeah, brajol. And then Victor Cafe for dessert. There you go.
Right. Why not?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No, all right. You know what, Sue? Anthony has the better idea.
Yeah, leave her alone.
All of us, we're just gonna go to the Victor's for dinner.
Yes.
So there you go. You don't have to cook anything.
Right.
Come on the tour.
You can all relax.
You can all relax. Yeah. Sounds like such a great idea.
Sue's got all these great stories about me. What a nut job I am. They're all the stories I won't tell you.
Yeah, right.
She's got them all.
She's got the behind the scenes stories.
She's got like a Rolodex of them.
That'd be great.
So Anthony, we're going to record her when Mike's not looking. So much fresh stuff to post.
Yeah.
It'll be enough for like 10 shows. It'll be enough for 10 episodes. Seriously. It'll be a trip. Guys, what an amazing episode we had. We talked to death about the Sly Stallone Shop. I mean, I'm telling you guys, you're going to love this place. If you've not heard of the Sly Stallone Shop, go Google it. It's a candy store for Rocky, Sylvester Stallone fans, Rambo fans on the top. Everything's all there. Just like we said earlier in the show, everything is here. This place is amazing.
It's all there. Yeah, 100%. And I just discovered it. So if you just discover it, watch out.
And Anthony, can I just say, you look very good in the Italian sweatshirt.
Oh, come on.
He does.
No, come on.
Very handsome.
Very handsome.
Thank you.
I like it.
He's got two girlfriends in my world. You know. Yeah, he does.
Apparently.
He does. My mother has a big crush on him.
Really?
So does my friend Michelle. Yes.
Nice.
They're like, oh, that Anthony.
I'm taking New Hampshire by storm, apparently. I don't know.
That's funny.
But thank you. You're too kind, you guys. Thank you so much.
That's a trip.
This sweater's my dream, I tell you.
You look very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Thank you. Stacy, what are we on now, too, by the way?
Yeah, where are we?
We're on something now.
Yes.
Just last episode, people were asking that why aren't we on something? What are we on?
Yep, we have graduated to Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, they've accepted us.
On there, yes.
They've accepted us. Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
we're on that. We're on Apple Podcasts, iTunes. Just look up, obviously, the Rocky Files and subscribe. Nice. We're on there now too. So
yeah, for sure. Awesome.
We're everywhere at the Rocky Files.
We're growing up.
We're growing up.
We're at episode 4. This is crazy.
Right?
And what's coming? I'm planned out to episode 12 right now. So I'm not kidding. That's how many people we have in the queue. They're
getting
awesome.
Guests.
That's great.
Everybody, that's the thing that we all agree. We always want to do is just tell these fan stories and keep putting them out there. To keep inspiring people. They're not alone. They have their people. Like Amy said, like you've said people, it, Stacy. I've always felt that way. So I'm so excited. I cannot wait to keep going with more of these. And again, you just never know what's going to happen on this show.
Yeah,
never know.
I feel like we're doing something more than just entertainment here. I think so. It's evolving into something that's almost, I don't know, borderline helpful. I don't know.
I think so.
Katie from the UK. Let me tell you, Katie from the UK. She was like, it's like, rolling up on the couch with a cup of coffee and talking to friends. I was like,
she's great. Yeah.
Oh my, what Katie, a beautiful comment. She was so sweet.
Yeah. Katie took the tour, and she is an amazing Rocky fan. She's a lot like Amy in many aspects. I begged her to come do this, and she's very, very shy.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to get her on here. I would love to get her on here. I really would, just because she's really a huge fan, and I think her story would resonate.
But her Rocky wall. She has like a Rocky house. Okay?
Yeah, she does. She
has more than a Rocky wall. So we'll work on her. We're gonna wear her down.
Good. I'm try to get 5 minutes, something. Yeah,
even a short thing that would be
one
fun.
round.
Yeah.
One round.
Yeah,
one question each, and then she can go.
Yeah.
Right,
1 round, 3 minutes.
I think it's possible because when I reached out to her for the birthday message, she's like, "I can't do it. I'm too shy." And then as we got closer, she finally sent me one. She's like, "I'll kick myself if I don't do it."
Yeah, and she did so good.
She did. She did awesome. I'm like, so I think
she did so good. You should have seen her.
You should have seen her.
You know what? I just got done. I was doing Rocky stuff this morning. I had Rocky tours. Anthony, thank you. You just keep doing Rocky stuff.
I can't do the accent, but I got the lines.
You got it, man. Yeah. You got the Canadian Rocky.
I got the Canadian Rocky.
Yeah. Instead of yo, he's got A.
Hey, Adrian, what?
I did real good. You should have seen me, eh? That's how you do it.
Hey, yo, Paulie, what are you doing over there? It's a boot time.
Eh?
Adrian, with the maple syrup.
A. Put A at the end of everything. You're Canadian.
That's it. Guys, this has been one of our favorite best shows.
Yeah,
it's been incredible. Another great guest in the books. I am going to go. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to go upstairs and decompress, think about the show a little bit, and then I'm going to do some house chores, and then I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to write for a little bit. So
nice. Very good.
I will be seeing you on our next show.
Absolutely. All right,
guys, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks so much.
All right, thanks for watching. Keep punching.
Keep punching.
Good night, guys.